Right, guys, before we jump into this Partygate scandal that's blowing up in the UK, it probably comes as no surprise to most of us that have always suspected that government officials and these bureaucrats that tell us to follow certain rules, they themselves probably don't adhere to these same rules, right? They are hypocrites most of the time, and it's always nice to see them being exposed. And thanks to this article in the Mirror and some of the video that they've put out from this, we can see for ourselves firsthand this hypocrisy at play. Now, this is from the UK, and I don't, there's no reason not to believe that this was happening in other parts of the world as well, right? I don't believe these officials took anything that they were saying too seriously, and they were just making things up as they go along. Now, that's my opinion, but we have seen time and time again as time passes and we look back, a lot of the things that they were doing seems very ridiculous and nonsensical. But let's have a look at this article from the Mirror. It's got first ever Partygate video revealed as Tories drink, dance and laugh at COVID rules. The Conservatives face the threat of a new police probe as an exclusive video shows how officials joking about their rule-bending Christmas bash at the party's headquarters in London during lockdown. So this is from December 2020, I believe, when people in the UK were told to lock themselves in their homes. The government and their officials, in particular, were holding a Christmas bash where they were, doing social contact, all the type of things that they had told us not to engage in, right? Because of the threat that we faced. Now, let me just pull up this video so you can have a nice look at what they were up to. I'll just full screen it. Let's have a look.
It's not her boyfriend. No, it's not.
Can we spread that? Let's make sure I get some.
It's for party.
Instagram Live.
As long as we don't stream it, we're like.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
Laura, what do you think of this?
Laura.
Yeah, so I mean, look, just by itself, it looks like quite a harmless video, just people enjoying themselves and having a staff room, whatever nonsense they were doing in the staff room. But when we consider what they had told the rest of us in terms of what we had to do by locking ourselves in and not having any kind of contact, and these guys are just flaunting those rules, it really makes you question how seriously any of these people actually took the stuff that they were saying to the rest of the public, right? This is the problem here. There's a massive issue of the perception that they were giving the community, while at the same time, if they really thought it was as bad as they were telling us, would they be having these staff parties, dancing with each other, drinking and laughing and doing all the things that we weren't allowed to do, right? Anyway, I'm going to just read a little bit more of this article to give you an idea of what's happening. The Tories face the threat of a new Partygate police probe as previously unseen footage shows staff boozing, dancing and mocking lockdown laws at the height of COVID. A bombshell video exposes for the first time how officials joked about their lockdown rule bending at a Christmas bash at the Conservative campaign headquarters in London. Let's just skip all these ads. My goodness, the Mirror. Far out. At least 24 revelers were there, and shockingly, they included two named on ex-MP Boris Johnson's controversial resignation honours list. In the exclusive footage, two dancers even twirl past a sign saying, "Please keep your distance." It will infuriate families who lost relatives in COVID and will reignite criticism of Mr. Johnson just days after he was slammed for misleading MPs over parties at number 10. Let's have a look at some of the photos there. Typical bureaucrats, of course. These this Knees Up was held on December 14th, 2020, as large swathes of the UK were barred from socialising indoors. A widely seen picture of the bash formed part of a Met Police probe last year. The force had only still images to go on and found insufficient evidence of law breaking, and no fines were issued. Well, I mean, look at these guys laughing. I mean, when you see this kind of thing, and again, these are just, young people enjoying themselves at an office party, but the context is important, right? The context is very important because people were barred. Anyway, let's have a look if they got any more photos. Okay. Oh, this is the bash here. Look at these guys. Where is the social distancing, right? No social distancing. Just almost hugging each other, right? And at the same time, they're giving us these rules. When one man sees he's being recorded, he says, "Oh Christ." Then another asks, "Are you filming this?" Someone else responds, "It's for the party, party use." A man then laughs after declaring, "As long as we're not streaming that, we're like bending the rules." Yeah, I mean, it feels petty, and in a way, I kind of understand why these people did these things that they did, because they all thought it was bullshit as well. They didn't take any of it seriously. But day after day, government officials from the Boris Johnson government, and we can apply this to governments all around the world, would get up in front of our TV screens and tell us that we can't do this and enjoy our lives like this. And it was predicated almost on nonsensical stuff, which they themselves were not taking seriously. Anyway, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Should we forgive these type of incidents? Should we forget about this and just move on? Are we still talking about this for way too long now after all this has happened? Or actually, is it good that these kind of information is now coming out and the public is being exposed to how these people are behaving? If you're liking my videos and enjoying what I'm doing, you can follow along at The Real Rukshan on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Rumble, Twitter, and Odyssey at The Real Rukshan. See you all next time.